never do more for a man than he does for you. I want you guys to watch this video. Let me know what you think, and I'll come back on the end with my comments.
Men don't want you because you're too nice. That's just the bottom line here. Men don't want you when you're too nice, when you're overly accommodating, when you do so much for them that you don't allow them to do something for you. Men don't want you unless you kind of are, I don't want to say difficult, but you need to be a challenge, and you need to be a challenge very early on. In fact, the more you want him, the more challenging you need to be. What I had to learn was that men don't want you until they have to question if you want them. Men want you to be a bit of a bitch sometimes. They want you to be difficult, and they will want you so much more. So listen to me close when I tell you this right now. Put yourself first. Remember that if you don't remember anything else from this video, one of the keys to operating within your divine femininity, one of the keys to operating within your dark femininity, one of the keys to making sure that you don't just attract men, but that you attract men in a way that's going to activate their masculinity so that they can be of service to you in the same ways, or for that matter, in greater ways that you're in service to them, is by remembering that you have to put yourself first.
Girlies, listen up. Never do too much for a man. The more you do for a man, the less he will be grateful of you. Period. All the little gift baskets, little surprises, long love letters, and spoiling him, and giving more love and care than he does for you? No. Girl, listen. Men love the chase. They're more attracted to a girl that makes them change themselves and do stuff for the girl, not the other way around. Challenge creates investment. The more you make a man work for your love, energy, and time, the more he will value it. And most importantly, he will value you more. He needs to know that you have a full life without him and that you chose to date him. Do not give him the energy that you are waiting for him or that you cannot live without him. Men are very different from women. Do you really think he's going to miss everything that you've done for him? No. The type of girl that lives in their mind rent-free is a girl that they can't fully figure out. But now if you're in a healthy relationship, you'll both be receiving and giving. But you know, so girls, stop over-giving and start receiving. Be unforgettable. Let him do the chasing, okay? Stay safe out there, girlies. Love you. Mwah.
Y'all need to stop babying these grown, able-bodied men by doing too much for them. Because all they're going to do is turn around and blame you for why they're feminine, just like they do in the comments. So if you're paying someone's bill, if you're holding some dude down, if you're enabling some dusty, all they're going to do is turn around and blame you in the end anyway, because you're doing their job, the job that they don't know how to do. Instead of forcing them to go out and learn how to be a man, you don't volunteer to be the man in the relationship. You say, well, I'm sorry, I hope you figure that out. I'm not going to be able to help you, sir. You're going to have to figure that out as a grown, able-bodied man. And if you use that term, grown, able-bodied man, it's going to start to click in here. Like, I'm a grown, able-bodied man. Why do I need help from some woman? You know?
The less you do for a man, the more he does for you. And this is something I learned directly from being a dominatrix. These men would come in, they would pay me, and some of them honestly would think they owned me for that hour because they paid me. And so it was like, I want you to do this. I want you to spank me. I want you to do this. And I would just sit in the chair and blow on my nails and wipe it on, and I'm just like, you done?
That would drive them insane.
And I was like, I feel like reading a magazine actually. You know, I know we have an hour together and you did kind of pay me, but I don't like your tone. So until you fix that and get on your knees and give me a reason to get out of the seat, I'm not getting up. And then all of a sudden, I'm sorry, goddess. What do I do?
Yeah,
Do water? What do you want to do?
At my big grown age of 34, one of the most valuable lessons that I really learned in life is to not do nothing for me. Nothing. That, because I'm an overdoer. Like, of course I'm going to email your boss. Of course I'm going to write this like email for HR. Of course I'm going to make your appointments. Of course I'm going to argue on customer service for you. Of course I'm going to try to get you something for cheaper. Of course. I'm not doing none of that shit no more. When I tell you I'm not doing nothing for a man, I learned my lesson. Because what's going to happen is men is going to start thinking, oh yeah, she's going to do it, she's going to do it. And that's going to make them not want to do nothing for you. I'm not your fucking personal secretary. I'm not your assistant. If you can't take initiative to do stuff for yourself and show me that you know how to get on the phone and argue for customer service or fucking argue with Uber Eats and tell that your shit is fucked up or whatever. And I'm saying this to really say to all of my young girls, I know sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to make my nigga, let me Wrong. That, don't, unless he's your husband, don't do nothing for that man. Nothing, because they're going to play on you. They're going to go and play with you with a bitch that do nothing for them. And they're going to do everything for that bitch. Don't do nothing for a man. And I can't stress this enough, because let me tell you something. When you do things for men, you hinder them from being men. You hinder them from actually growing. You hinder them from being independent. And this is not women, but this is a pretty portion of men. They start expecting you to play wife. And it's like, bro, I got to ask you for a date. What are we talking about? So let this be a lesson to any woman that's doing something for a man right now.
That man must want you and love you more than you want and love him in order for it to work. And don't argue with me. I don't make the rules. Because let me tell you something. One of the biggest mistakes that I made in my previous dating life was that I did the most for a man. And I was doing the most because I thought that by me doing the most for him, that he would be so appreciative of me and want me and love me. I thought that I could actually make him love me by how much I did for him. And to be honest, they let me do the most for them. They never stopped me. They did the bare minimum for me. And I thought that maybe if I do more, I can get them to do more. But it never worked. And I just got heartbroken in the end. And one of the reasons that a lot of ladies keep getting heartbroken in the end is because your standards are not high enough and you're going in doing the most for these men. And so therefore, when you're going in doing the most for him, doing the absolute most, you know who you are and you know what you're doing. When you go in doing all of that and then it doesn't lead to anything, and it only leads to you getting heartbroken, and it only leads to him leaving you. In the end, who wouldn't be broken by that? Who wouldn't feel used and abused and washed up because you don't gave your all for nothing? And that's because men don't work like that. I don't make the rules. I think there's some kind of science behind this, but you cannot spark a man's love by how much you do for him. but he is going to do for you because of how he feels about you, and because of the man he is. Of course, if he's emotionally intelligent enough to do so without being afraid that it's not going to be returned, then he will. And I'm not saying that the woman is doing absolutely nothing for the man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that she brings something different to the table than what he does. Like, if you start off trying to win a man over, trying to do the most for him in the beginning, and he's barely doing a damn thing for you, you're going to find yourself the whole entire relationship consistently and constantly trying to win that man's love. Versus when I met my husband and me being married now, I'm looking throughout our relationship of being together for almost 10 years. I have done less than half of the shit that I did for my exes, and it got me a ring. And it's because I let him be a man. You have to let a man be a man. He has to be in his masculinity. And if he is not, then he's not going to do for you. He's not going to care about you like that. He doesn't love you more than you love him. It's just not going to work. And so you have to, ladies, be able to be in your femininity and feel like that you are ready to receive. You have to believe that you deserve to be given to that way just because of who you are. I realized that was my mistake because how I felt about myself and probably how I was brought up. I thought that I had to earn love. And so therefore with me being in that and doing the most, I was in my masculinity because I thought that that's what I had to do in order to be loved. And so I had to really heal how I feel about myself and believe that I deserve to be treated well just because of who I am, just because of the person that I am. You know, just, it doesn't mean that it's not because of what I bring to the table or what I can do. You know, I do for my man, but that's not what got him to wanting me and wanting to be with me and loving me more than I love him. And so what I'm saying is stop doing all that. Stop doing the most. If you have to do the most in order for the man to love you, then he does not love you, and he never will. Point blank, period.
Believe me when I say I'm not no man hater, I'm not no man basher, but I have not received nothing good for fucking with a man. Not shit. I haven't received the award of the year for being there for a man. I haven't received an award for being there with a man through his struggles. I have not received an award from that, so I don't give a fuck to be that. My last relationship lasted for 3 years. I was in it for almost 3 years. In those years, he went to jail. I helped his family with his lawyer. Money that I did not have to give. When I first got with him, I don't know what the fuck happened to his car, but my car became the primary use. I was getting dropped off at work at 7 p.m. and he wasn't picking me up till 7 a.m. and he was doing God knows what. He wasn't taking care of me spiritually. He wasn't taking care of me mentally. He damn sure wasn't taking care of me financially. I have never received no good shit, no fucking reward fucking with a man. And yes, I can take my accountability of that's being the kind of men I'm attracted to. But I say this to say, pour the love into yourself. You're not going to get a fucking placard that say you was the woman that was down with a man. A man did not give a fuck about who was down. In fact, he's going to really hate your ass that you could help him. He going to envy you that you could help him. He couldn't even help his fucking self. You're going to get envy. In situations where you think, yes, I'm helping him. I love him. He going to envy your ass. That's all I ever fucking got was envy. Empty promises. And a man who wasn't shit. So now excuse me if I just want to focus on myself. Excuse me if I just want to love myself. If I want to love me. So that's why I be telling you I love you. Because you're not going to get a reward for being there always for these niggas. You're not. That's just what it is. Love you, baby. Love you. You can do good by yourself. I don't even like saying the term I can do bad by myself. No, baby, I can do good by myself. Which I am doing excellent. I am doing great. I'm cool.
So let me give y'all a quick story time on why you should never do nothing for a nigga as long as you live. So y'all, why the fuck not just some old work gonna call me the other day talking about something, I know you don't fuck with me, but my birthday passed and you didn't call and wish me a happy birthday. I told that nigga, so I don't even know when the fuck your birthday was or is or whatever in the fuck. Yo, why is fucking Facebook come across my shit, one of like friends you may know or some shit right after that damn near? I click on it. Why his fucking baby mama took him to Chicago for his birthday and laid it out? I would have put my hands around that little nigga's neck. That's why I'm gonna do shit for niggas. Cause he on my phone crying and bitch, I ain't even wish him a happy birthday. You done took this nigga out of town. Baby.
Can you stop doing the most when you're dating? Like, can you let a man lead? Like, can you just chill out? Like, you don't know this man. Why are you trying to like do the most with him? Let him take the lead. Let him take the initiative. And if he doesn't, bye. Bye. You don't want to date him. Tap into your feminine energy. Relax, receive, slow down. Don't plan the dates. Don't double text him. Focus on yourself. Focus on the things that make you happy, that fill up your cup. And I promise you, the right high quality men, let me say that again, the right high quality men will be drawn to you, okay? I had to learn this lesson when I was dating my early 20s before I met my husband. And for a while, I was so in my masculine energy, like just really trying to like control the outcome. And once I learned the power of surrendering and not giving a fuck what happened with any guy that I was dating, because I was so secure within myself and I knew that no matter what happened, I was going to be just fine because I loved myself so much and my life was so full apart from all these men that I was dating. That's literally right when I met my husband because I was unattached to the outcome. I wasn't trying to force something to happen. I was so secure on my own. And I think that's what women tend to get wrong when they're dating. They think they have to control something and they're trying to force something that isn't natural. And I think it's really important to just take a step back and go on the dates, have fun, like a guy if you like a guy, but also learn to just surrender. And I promise you that ability to not care so much about what happens or what the future looks like with that guy is going to make the guy so obsessed with you. You're not even going to know what to do with yourself. Like having that self-assuredness and that confidence and that ultimate just self-love, that is going to make the right high quality men just crazy about you. And it's going to attract the right people into your life because good high quality men, they love a woman who loves themselves. Okay. So take a step back, stop trying to control everything and know that you are whole and worthy on your own. Okay. Okay.
I'm not doing anything for a man. If a man is looking to be a receiver, he's never going to be a giver. Write that down. Y'all need to write that down. If a man is looking to be a receiver, he will never be a giver to you. He will never be a giver to you, ever. So you need to leave him alone anyway. If he's upset that he did not get a gift for his birthday, you need to call his mama. Don't call his mama because that's not your job. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Do not buy him anything in a relationship. No gift at all. I don't care if it's a birthday, Christmas, holiday, nothing. Don't buy him no ring. I'm not buying him food. I'm not supplying him with food. If you just have to, go buy him some socks or some underwear or something stupid. But do not.
The only thing a man needs from you is your presence. The very fact that you are in their presence.
You're not the type of woman that likes to spoil her man, okay? If you're not the type of woman that, when you fall in love, you want to do everything that you can to make his life as easy as possible. If you're not that type of woman, this post is not for you. Keep scrolling, okay? If you are that type of woman, I need you to listen to me. I got some game for you. You got to be careful with who you do this with, okay? I know that's your love language. I know that when you're in love, you want to do everything you can to make this man happy. You want to do everything you can to make his life easy, right? But you got to be careful, doing too much for certain types of men, because the more you do for a man, the less he'll do for you, depending on the type of man he is. Before you decide to be like this with a man, you have to make sure this man is truly secure in his masculinity, okay? Because if you are like this with a man that's not truly masculine, you will take away his ability to feel masculine in the relationship. And a lot of men, they have a false sense of masculinity. A lot of men, their masculinity, it only depends on the situation. Their masculinity is situational. They have to be in a certain position, or they have to do this, they have to do to make themselves feel masculine. You get what I'm saying? Usually it's a position of power. And when you are the type of woman who likes to show up for her man, when you like to step in and solve problems for him, that could potentially make the man feel less masculine, okay? Men who are not truly secure in their masculinity don't know how to feel masculine when they're dealing with a woman that can do just as much as them. When they're dealing with a woman that can contribute just as much as he is. A lot of men feel like they need to have more, or they need to be better than their woman in order to feel masculine. But you got to make sure you are dealing with a man who truly understands masculinity and a man who is secure with his masculinity. A man is not feeling masculine enough for his relationship, starts to become insecure, and that's always bad. Okay, the next one. You got to make sure he is not an abuser. Okay, when I say abuser, I'm not talking about men who physically put their hands on women. I'm talking about people who abuse things. They abuse. It could be anything. It could be substances. It could be food. It could be whatever. You can abuse anything. And typically people who are abusers, best believe they abuse people's kindness. They abuse people's generosity. You get what I'm saying? And when you abuse people's kindness, typically when you abuse something, that means you're not giving anything back. You're just taking. You're taking. That's what abuse is. You got to be careful. Man that's not an abuser, he's not comfortable with sitting around letting people do shit for him and he don't do nothing in return. He doesn't feel comfortable in situations where there's no reciprocity. Okay? So, pay attention to how he is in his life. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to how he is when he has something, or when he finds something that makes him feel good, or something he likes. Does he abuse it? Does he go overboard? And then he'll just go to the point of like burnout? Or does he know how to enjoy things, but put it down and do it in moderation? You know what I'm saying? If he does abuse the things that he likes, that means he'll abuse people's hearts. He'll abuse people's kindness. So some things you gotta pay attention to, man. Free game.
Don't go overboard. Never do more than he does for you. In fact, whatever he does for you, you do by 1/4. So if he goes 100, you go 25%. Okay? That's how much more they should like you in order to accept that. So whatever they're doing for you, for example, if they're bringing you flowers, being romantic, taking you out on dates, buying you nice gifts, stuff like that, that's 100%. They're taking care of you, paying all your bills, whatnot, right? You're only going to give them 25%. And I'm going to tell you why. Because after a while, if you give them 50%, 75%, you're going to get attached and start liking them a little bit more and doing a little bit more while they start doing a little bit less. And eventually, you're going to be doing more than he's doing. So that's why you got to keep the 25% effort and let them stay at the 100% effort. Because as time moves forward, things are going to naturally even out. But remember, if you're always doing 25%, they're never going to catch up to each other. But they're going to seem like they are. So he's always going to be doing more for you. And once he gets in that habit of not expecting more out of you and doing more for you, it's going to be normal. And they won't expect you to do this for that or this for that. They won't expect you.
Don't sleep with them. Don't cook for them. Don't clean up behind them. Don't invite them into your space. Date them all and make the best provider win. And the only men that have a problem with this are the manipulators, the narcissists, the compulsive liars, the men that want you to provide for them. Look, keep your options open. And to the women that say, well, I can't juggle 5 men at a time. You are dealing with a complete narcissist. This man had 5 different personalities. Every day you woke up, you see a different version of this man. You can date a different man every day of the week. Stop giving 10 years to men that don't value you. 5 years to men that don't value you. Giving your body to men that don't value you, and then having children by these men. Date them all. Date every single one of them and may the best provider win. Men are competitors. They love to compete. Make these men compete for your love. You have given yourself too easily and allowed these weak men to walk in your life and walk all over you. May the best provider win. All praise.
Okay, so that whole video was refreshing. I don't know about you, but my ovaries was hurting. Like, I was like, ooh, wait a minute. Like, ooh, I might be guilty of some stuff. But in reality, when I think about my life, every time I've ever just been on my me stuff, like dedicated to me, I had a boyfriend, but I wasn't like overly pressed. He's dropping off jewelry. He's bringing by gifts. He's bringing by flowers. He's bringing by teddy bears. He wants to take me out to eat. He wants to do all this. Like, he wants to show me that he's a provider. And so for the lover girls, right, it's really hard because then when they start showing us love and respect and honor and start bearing gifts, then we want to do the same thing. But then it takes us out of our feminine. It puts us in our provider mode, our boss girl mode, our masculine. And we don't want to do that with our boyfriends. We don't want to do that with our men folk. They said, whatever they do for you, don't match. Do the bare minimum. If you're gonna do something, do the bare minimum. Just make it seem like it's a big deal. I do the bare minimum. I mean, I do the barest of bare minimum. But even before that, I didn't have to do anything. Like, these men, they do love to chase. They do love to provide, and they do love to be challenged. So do not take, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but don't let it fall on deaf ears. Like, these folks, probably older than us, are trying to show us the way, okay? So don't be overly pressed. Do not go out of your way. The ones that like you will do it. That's all I know, and I've seen it. I see it to this day. I see it over and over again. You can do a little something, but baby girl, don't step into your masculine. Don't get into provider mode. That's not your son. You don't have to build him. You are not a pick-me-sha. You are a soft girl. You are a queen. Like I said, I see you, but I want you to stay feeling seen. In order to do that, you got to be still. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. How'd you like this video? How do you like this style of video that I'm doing? Anyway, feedback is always welcome, but it's not necessary. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Bye.